Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Every time I mention a video game technology, there's some person in the comments that says, "What about Onlive? Onlive is the future!" Have you people played Onlive? Onlive sucks. Onlive is like playing games over a remote desktop while looking at them through Vaseline-coated sunglasses. It's that bad. Don't tell me it's not. I've got a 100 megabit Comcast connection. I'm on the best possible setup for playing on Onlive, and it blows. I was trying to play Dirt on Onlive, and I swear I would move the stick to go around the corner, and the car would go for another 30 seconds, and then it would start to turn. It was that bad. And it has to be. The way that Onlive works is the signal goes up to their server. Now, that's going to be a function of ping time. And pinging the Onlive servers was about 60 milliseconds. And that's pretty good. It's not as good as Google, but it's pretty good. So, a minimum, you've got 60 milliseconds to get the signal up to Onlive. Onlive has to put that information into the game. It has to send it back. Let's say that they could do that in no time. No time at all. It'd be 60 milliseconds to come back. That's 120 milliseconds in a perfect scenario. Now, when you're playing a game against other people, their latency also gets factored in. So you're sending from Onlive server to somebody else's server to play the game. So the multiplayer then has another 60 milliseconds or so. And so you're now at 180 milliseconds if everything goes perfect. And it never goes perfect. Plus, there's time to encode the video that they're going to send you. They have to wait at least one frame, but they're running at about 30 frames per second. So you're at 30 milliseconds per frame of delay. So we're now at 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60, because we've got me to the server, server to the other host, host back, and then host back to me. So that's 240 milliseconds plus another 30 milliseconds if they only encode with one frame. But in actually parsing the codec that they were sending, they're actually doing a delay of 4 frames, which is another 120 milliseconds. So I'm running at a 240 plus 120 minimum delay, which is 360 milliseconds, which is about 1/3 of a second. That is a lot of latency when you're talking about trying to drive a car around a racetrack. And when you're trying to play a first-person shooter, it's also really bad. You're always going to lose the draw against someone who is a quote-unquote real player, because when they come around the corner, you're a third of a second before you can even do anything, and that's assuming that Onlive isn't adding any delay. Onlive sucks. It's not the future of the way gaming is going to work. It's a neat concept. If you're playing a single-player game, it can be fun. I played through a couple of the demos of the platform games. They weren't so bad. They weren't great, but if you had a netbook and wouldn't be able to play those games at all otherwise, they're kind of cool. But Onlive is definitely not the future of gaming. It cannot compare with an Xbox. It certainly can't compare with a high-end PC. And, yeah, it just sucks.